we're in the season where we don't know what to do and don't know where we're headed, what's next. I had no ambition or desire to go do something else until I started feeling like this sense that change was coming. And one Saturday, we went to this little restaurant down in Manayunk, and a friend of ours says, "You should move someplace and start a church." I thought that was a terrible idea. In fact, when she said it, I just laughed. The last thing I wanted to do was go start a church and do something that probably wasn't going to work. And so I looked back at her and I said, I would never want to do that. But I said, but if I ever did, and all of a sudden, that conversation led me back to a moment that happened 2 years prior to this. I was sitting in a church, and Bill Hybels is a pastor, and he was talking about the first church in Acts chapter 2. It was the most amazing description of a church I'd ever heard. And what he said was, there once was a group of
There was
people.
once a community of people totally devoted to God. And they became like family, like brothers and sisters to one another. The church rocked with the power of God, so much so
that everybody was in awe. And I thought, man, if I ever get the chance to, I would want to do something like that. I wanted to be part of a church where anybody could walk through the doors and figure out what their next step is. So out of my mouth just came this idea for a church for a regular guy like me. Somebody who, I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great dad. I want my life to matter. I want to make a difference in this world. And then we get in the car, we drive down the road. It's the first time I'd ever been to Manayunk. And we drive past this movie theater. I liked the idea of church not in church. And I remember looking up and going, wow, it's movie theater, just like what we just talked about. And what was crazy was we didn't have anything except this whisper from God. And basically, my friends, the 7 of us, I was like, I think this is what God wants us to do, but I couldn't be terribly confident. I was just like, man, even if it didn't work, even if we started the church and it failed, life would go on. I could at least stand before God and be like, yeah, I tried. I felt like I heard God's whisper, but I'd be able to stand before God at the end of my days and not regret that I didn't do the thing that I kind of sensed Him nudging me to do. If you listen for God's whispers and you take a step of faith, I guarantee you, you will run right into God's faithfulness.